Okay.
Welcome. I'm Doug D.
And I'm Nita B.
And listen, it's our show.
It is the Doug D and Nita B show. Yes.
We've got so many special guests.
We do.
And you know what? We want to thank you for tuning in.
Yes,
we want to thank our sponsors. And you have a special thing to say to our audience.
I do. Thank you so very much for allowing us into your home each and every day. We look forward to entertaining you daily, spontaneously, and just all across the board. Thank you so very much for giving us the support that we have been needing and wanting.
Yeah, we want to have a lot of good content for you folks.
Yeah.
We have some wonderful guests.
We do have some phenomenal guests.
Drum roll.
My husband.
Vincent Ward from Walking Dead.
No, Vincent M. Ward.
Okay. All right. We have the lovely plus-size model, Tammie Starr.
Ooh, a star indeed, shining.
She's also an angel of mercy.
Yes. And she's also, what do I call it? What was my word for her? She's every woman. Whitney Houston's every woman. Yes, Wonder Woman. Yes, exactly.
Wonder Woman. I would not disagree.
Woman.
And also, Ray J and Brandy's dad,
Mr. Willie Norwood.
Entrepreneur, vocalist, spiritualist. Yeah, and you know, we've also got a special guest, also a friend of mine. I'm excited about him being on the show. TJ Santorelli. He works behind the scenes.
Awesome.
A lot of people don't know what happens on your favorite shows behind the scenes. And we're talking Dancing with the Stars, X Factor, American Idol. And he comes on and he tells us about the changes that have gone over the past 20 or 40 years.
Yes.
And we're looking forward to talking to him as well.
Yes, I am. I know.
TJ,
for sure.
right on. Thanks for hanging tight with us. We'll be right back.
Yes, we'll be right back.
And now you need equipment, uniforms, apparel for the team and coaches? Call us at NNH Sporting Goods, your local team dealer in Los Angeles. Does your team need spirit packs, t-shirts, shorts, practice jerseys? We got them. We serve high schools, parks, companies, and church leagues. Call us today to look like a team tomorrow at 323-325-2505.
Okay, we're back. Doug D, Nita B. And we've got a special guest here, our friend TJ Santorelli. Welcome aboard.
Yes,
thanks
thank
for coming. Nice to be aboard.
Being here.
TJ works in Hollywood behind the scenes. He's a 20-year vet.
40.
40. How did I mess that up?
By 20 years.
Okay. And TJ works on shows like, just a few shows that might be, popular one day, like X Factor, American Idol, Dancing with the Stars, and what we'd like to do is ask you, based on your experience from the time you started to date, have there been any major changes in terms of the backline, the spotlight, the way you're paid, all of that stuff? We want to know what you do. It's an interesting field.
A lot has changed. Back in the day, before ratings were the thing, it was Nielsen's. And they've had Nielsen's, but I started in 1973, and we used to have a lot of fun in the studios. We used to get meal penalties for working overtime, and then as the years went by, pencil pushers started coming in. The ratings, the studios were more and more cognizant of the ratings, and they wanted to be number one. So the CPAs came in, competition, and they started cutting meal penalties, which was understandable. But one of the things we really used to like to have fun was pulling practical jokes, telling jokes on people, and some of them
doesn't like to do that.
Exactly. Well, now with political correctness and HR, they're everywhere on the studios.
You have that existing there too, huh?
We are told, if we think a girl is pretty, we're not allowed to say, "Hey, you look nice tonight," or "Today we don't like the the smell of your perfume," because they can say sexual harassment.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
It's really sad because we used to have a lot of fun. I was doing the Lawrence Welk show. I don't know if anybody here remembers Lawrence Welk,
but Google it.
I was young. But
actually, it was a Thanksgiving show, and there was a cameraman who always, whenever there was food as a prop for a particular holiday, would sneak over to the table. He was a cameraman. He'd just dolly his camera over to the table. Well, this one Thanksgiving holiday, there was two prop guys that loved to play pranks.
Wow.
And they doused this turkey. It was a real turkey. Somebody baked it. They put 30-weight motor oil all over it.
Woo!
And this cameraman and everybody was watching him. And he had the cornucopia.
I didn't know you had oil turkeys.
Yeah, didn't have to. They did because they were watching this guy.
Oh, man.
And he rolled his camera over,
Yeah.
and on the back side where you couldn't see the turkey, he ripped off the leg and put it in his jacket pocket. He had a sport jacket on and rolled back into position.
Are you serious?
I'm
And like
visualizing this right
5 minutes later, there was a big oil stain on his jacket. And by then, everybody knew what was going on. And it was just.
But it sounded like fun.
It was
But
fun.
you're saying now it's a little different. Everybody
You can't do that stuff. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
More seriousness.
Yeah.
Would you say, though, honestly, that you would, if you had anything else that you would rather do, that you would rather do it, or are you happy and content doing it?
I love what I do. I run spotlights.
That's what you told me.
Right. I've done the Emmys and the Academy Awards and
awesome.
39 Academy Awards.
Speaking of Emmys and Academy Awards, do you have?
Yes, I have a
something to
badge
share
here
with our audience?
from 1979. This is how primitive
Can you get a close up on that?
I
the
was in
badges
Pam-Pams.
the badges were, and this is 1979, and then this badge here is
That's cool.
Collection.
That's
Yeah.
last year's badge,
Got it.
and these things now
Production.
are. We have to scan these, and the picture that's on our badge has to match the picture that's on the screen that the guards security have to make sure that
No
it's
more free get-in.
Oh boy, and they're really sticklers for anybody that I mean,
There's
the
some
people go
here
to
that wouldn't
jail.
get past.
Yeah, people go to jail for sneaking in
That's serious.
to and this is
Well, it's like the NAMM show. I mean, you're familiar with the NAMM show, the National Association of Music Merchants.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe I shouldn't say it, but we used to make badges.
yeah, oh yeah.
And
I
got stopped at the door,
Yep.
and I'm like, okay, that's fine, because we used to try to get in and meet, people who were recording and people who played instruments.
I have a
Hancock.
funny story about that. One of the guys, when they first started with these badges, before they got sophisticated, cut the bar, the scan bar, off of the back of a Snickers candy wrapper.
That's actually clever.
Wow.
And he taped it over the badge number that he had. Yeah. And he used that to get in and out, and nobody
Really?
ever caught him. Yeah.
Oh,
it was,
man.
It
Note
was
to
a riot.
self,
Yeah.
we will
Note
be
to
at the
self.
next.
Snickers
We got the
wrappers.
memo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the code, the barcode.
Awesome.
He cut that off and
What an
got
interesting
in.
life.
I mean, he worked the show.
Yeah.
He was legitimately in and out,
Yeah.
but
Well,
nobody
we're
ever
gonna be
caught
in and
him
out.
using
We're
that.
gonna, we're gonna snip the Snickers barcode and do our thing. So, TJ, you've been in this business for 40 years. If you weren't doing this, what else would you have chosen to be your career?
Good question.
Actually, I wanted to do this since I was a little kid.
Really?
So that's why I got into acting programs.
So you
at
knew
school.
as a child that this was your calling?
Not a child, maybe when I was in high school, because
Okay.
I enjoyed TV. I mean, Norman Lear and All in the Family, all those programs were on the air. And in fact, I auditioned for Norman Lear to be in anything that he was doing. But only 2% of the people that make it in the business make a living out of it. And
He was a very prolific.
Oh yeah, he was
producer.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I figured, well, I had already started in the business behind the cameras, and I was doing all right. You know, I was making a living, and I saw a lot of people come and go that I never saw again. So I figured, well, I might as well just
one-hit wonder.
Yeah, just keep at it. So I worked on some great shows, All in the Family, and One Day at a Time,
Maude.
Three's Company, Maude, The Golden Girls.
Mr. Roper, the fill-in. When he didn't come to work, you could have been the fill-in.
I could have been, yeah.
Kind of favor him a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, TJ, there's a future there, possibly. Persistence. I'm one of those that advocate persistence. If you really want to do it, it doesn't matter when. It's a matter of just making it happen.
It is.
So if there's any way we can help or be involved in your life in some way, I appreciate you being a guest on the show, and so does my partner.
Yeah.
No,
It's sort of like, I have a motto. It's sort of like, if you're thirsty, you just run, and after your water.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah,
That
sort of,
kind
yeah.
of way. Right.
And leave the mic alone.
Leave the mic alone. Thanks a lot.
Thank
TJ
you so
Santorelli.
much for being
Yeah,
here.
that's my
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Yeah, it's fun.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Doug D. Nita B. Show. We have as our guest today, Mr. Vincent Ward. And Vincent, I'm going to ask you, you're a Buckeye. My dad was from Dayton, Ohio.
All right.
He loves you, just right now, that's it, don't you? So basically, here's my question initially coming in.
Okay.
We have role models and we have role models. Okay, we noticed that I'm a Walking Dead Trekkie, by the way, and this man. So role models in terms of males, young males, do you feel that because the scenario in Walking Dead is based on the guys in the prison at this point protecting the women, even though the women are tough, it seems like we're going back to that tradition. Do you see that in the script?
Well, you know, if you really and truly watch The Walking Dead, the women on there are probably tougher than some of the guys on the show, to be honest with you.
They are.
So the only kid that's on there is Carl.
Okay.
And right now he's in his own world. So I think his role model is himself and his dad, of course.
Samurai Queen, you know, she's cutting off those heads.
Yeah, Michonne's tough because she had to be tough. She was out there by herself the entire time.
I love it.
And you know, once you're in that frame of mind that she just looks out for herself, she's not really thinking about anybody else, not a man, not a kid. She has a soft spot for the kids, so that's the whole motherly side of her. So
and not just the actor, but the man, Vince Ward, the man. You like strong women.
I love
We were talking about that earlier.
I love
So
it.
my question is, I was going to ask him, for the women out there, not that I need to know.
Go for it.
But,
Go for
okay,
it.
well then I'll get ahead of myself. So, are you single? Why are you single? And if single, what do you look for? And
Hey,
Well, of course, I love a strong woman. I don't want any woman that feels like just because I'm the man that she has to bow down to me. And I need her by my side, not behind me.
that's a man. That's a real man.
Yeah, a woman like that. And yeah, I'm single. I'm single by choice. You know, of course, you know, when you have things going on for you, you have a personality, you have faith, and you know, with all those involved, it's pretty easy to get a woman.
Yeah.
But you just don't want any woman.
That's right.
I've been there, done that, learned my lessons.
You have.
So it's like now I'm just being patient and just going with the flow.
Keep being patient because there's somebody out there for you. Maybe several people.
oh yeah. I'm not even gonna
Okay, okay.
So backing it
Take a
up,
look.
you're from Ohio. So what brought you out here to LA? Like, did the acting bug hit you, or did you have a direct
Good question.
focus of coming out here?
I was born and raised in Dayton, Ohio.
Okay.
You know, the whole time I was a basketball star, and I used to dance in a rap group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we used to open up shows for like MC Hammer and Special Ed
So
and Public
I'll steal
Enemy.
her term. You're a forceful threat man.
Yeah,
Forceful
man.
threat.
That's mine.
That was my love and passion, but you know, as time went on, I had a couple kids, so it was like,
It happens.
you know, I ended up working at General Motors.
Wow.
And what happened was I ended up getting hurt at General Motors, and I got terminated.
No kidding.
Started working at a place called Champ Sports, became the #1 salesman in the district in Dayton, Ohio.
Wow.
They loved what I was doing. They decided to train me to become an assistant manager, but I had to go to Columbus. Columbus, Ohio, Buckeye State,
traveling.
Buckeye. And became the #1 salesman out there. One day the general manager came to me, it's like, you're doing a great job, how far you want to take it in the company? Now this whole time we sitting there laughing, high-fiving each other, whatever. And I said, I would like to have a position like yours one day.
Wow.
Oops.
2 weeks later, I was fired. And my manager told me, he said, whatever you told the manager, told your manager, the general manager, that's why I had to let you go.
Wow.
But it was after that, probably about another 3 weeks when I saw my very first play, and I fell in love with it.
I was going to ask you, after that corporate scenario, and we all know that's a tough world, was there a dry spell? I mean, in terms of you being down and beat down in the...
I was very down for the simple fact that,
sense.
I just moved to Columbus to, try to better my life. And for that to hit me, I was devastated, but in the same breath, it was a blessing.
Yeah.
So I see where...
I think God was setting you up.
that's what I was about to say. I see the path.
Yes.
So to speak.
GM, champs, never even thought about being an actor, went in audition, got a part.
Fantastic.
And so, time went on, because I'm a competitor, from my basketball background. So I decided to come on out here to LA. So that's what brought me, acting.
Vincent, speaking of athletics and your background, baseball, basketball, football, I mean, you did it all. And it's pretty obvious you're in good shape. That's a visual. and I feel secure saying that.
Pause.
Secure in my masculinity.
That's a romance thing.
We good with it.
I'll take it.
We good.
Leave me alone, you bully. So basically, do you feel that core of athletics, when you do have those down times and those droughts, so to speak, which we all have in the acting field or any field, did that fortify you, your athletic background, in terms of being able to go ahead and endure and then come into acting? Because we know that acting, you deal with the auditions, you deal with the rejections, you deal with the fact that some people do that nicely and some people do it not so nicely. Did your athletic background and your endurance in corporate America help you deal with rejection in this business?
I think,
not that you had a lot.
I don't really look at it as a rejection. I just look at it as being patient and having faith. That wasn't for me at that time.
Right.
You know, I always tell people, yes, I've accomplished a lot as far as plays, movies, and TV shows, but I actually feel like my career just began. You know,
Beautiful.
Maybe I wasn't ready a few years ago.
Right.
You know,
I've heard people say that, and I can kind of relate to that now. I think we both can.
Yeah.
you know, sometimes, you know, God might look like, okay, he's not ready for this blessing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, let him get mentally, spiritually.
Because he wants you to be able to receive it
Right.
in fullness.
You've got to get the
of what you
galvanization
have.
process.
And and emotionally, and I feel like that's where I'm at this point.
Ooh, okay. See, we're getting
We
really
like that.
ahead. Okay. I know. Okay, so with that being said, with your career, did you think that it was going to blow up this big? I mean, it is blown up. You're modest. We were talking earlier, and you were just like,
I mean, the show is
just
huge.
normal.
You're huge.
So, but
You know, I didn't even know anything about The Walking Dead before I started working on it.
Really?
I didn't realize how popular it was until maybe my third or fourth episode. As far as blowing up, I don't.
you there.
Some people might say
Lord,
that.
It's the we are here, you are here.
You know,
It's that
I
we are here.
appreciate that, but I feel like I have greatness coming.
accomplish,
You know,
yeah.
not just for myself, but I always say for my family,
Yeah.
for my city, and for, I don't like to call people fans, but supporters or followers of my career. So it's like, this is the beginning, and I know I'm gonna be the person that if somebody asks a question, or how'd you do this, I wanna be the person that they ask.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have that when
Right.
I moved here. When I
Exactly.
moved here, it was just like, oh, you gotta fend for yourself type
Exactly.
thing.
That is kind of how it is.
very
And
dominating.
and then a lot of people say that they want that life, you know, be famous and all that. But are you doing what it takes to
There you go.
to
Doing
get
your
there,
hustle.
and not just for yourself, but for other people?
Right. Yeah.
You know, so
share.
are you
right.
doing what you're supposed to do? Are you
Yeah.
being there on time? Are you having your lines together? Is your ego
Being on
right?
time.
You know,
You know what?
or
I
as far as
say that.
don't have an ego. You know what I mean? It's just you're supposed to. I would say be ready so you to get ready.
Wow, that's awesome. And always being ready
right.
helps you to continue to walk through those doors. So when you go back home, I know your parents don't see you as Vincent Ward, the Hollywood, star or actor. Do your friends treat you differently, the ones who
That's
you
a
went to
good
school
question. I was going to
with?
ask you that too. If she did.
Well, my parents, summertime, get out there and cut that grass. I go home the 21st this month, get out there and shovel that snow.
That's it.
But
Keep it real.
but actually, they don't have to ask me
They
that.
keep it real.
They do.
keep
They don't have to ask. They don't have to tell me that because for 42 years they've been in my life. Now I feel like I want to give back to them
That's awesome.
and to make everything easier for them. As far as my friends,
Daughter, I have 4 children. Please take note of that. Make it easier for me.
Right.
as far as my friends, I think some of the people can't accept where they are in life, and they want to look at mine like, oh, he got this.
Are they
But
happy for you? Do they show positive support?
when they want to brag that they know me.
Oh man, isn't that usually how it is?
Yeah, when they want to brag and say that they
Family.
know me,
Yeah.
then that's when they're supportive. And I just tell them like, look here, I'm more humble today than
Yeah.
I was then.
I think
I said, if we're going to be
That's why family's
friends,
important.
yeah.
Keep you rooted.
If we're going to be friends, I'm not going to chase you to be my friend.
There you go. I
And
like
don't compare your life to how you think my life
Right,
is.
right.
Because you know what, we might can help each other do something
Well,
in
and
the
they
future.
don't walk in your shoes.
Right.
So it's a lot different.
You know, they don't see me sitting at home crying, wondering if I'm gonna do this.
Not having a pity
Everybody got
party.
problems just like
That's
everybody
right.
else. I don't
That's
care
right.
where you are in
That's
your
right.
life.
That's good.
And it's interesting because I've had the opportunity, Vincent, to talk to people along those lines who've said, gee, gee, I remember when you were snot-nosed brat, you know, and now you're doing stuff in Hollywood. But I think, and you've heard this, I think a lot of us have heard this, and the audience has heard it, success equals opportunity meeting preparation, right? And you're a classic example of that as far as I'm concerned, and Nita.
Thank you.
One quick question before we leave for commercial break. This is something I want to ask you because I think it tells a lot about the person, and always has. Okay, a lot of us have seen the movie 2012, the apocalyptic, theme, and let's say we only had 2 years. What would Vincent Ward fill that with?
I would try to fill it with happiness. I try to fill it with more time with my family. You know, more time of just trying to enjoy life, wake up every day like I do now, rise and grind.
That's a great
you know, because you never know. Just because somebody says it's going to end, it doesn't end until God says it ends.
On that note, let's take a commercial break.
We'll be right back. Vincent Ward, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it. And man, we got to talk.
Hi, and welcome back to the Doug B and Nita B Show. We're here with Vincent Ward, and it's been great. He's been inspiring us while we're asking him these awesome questions and everything. So before we go, I just wanted to ask you one last thing.
Go for
now, for the episode, you're not on The Walking Dead anymore, but you don't like it to be called your fans, so your supporters. Is there a website that they can go to, or some kind of way that we can say, hey, we want, ranting back? I'm usually on your Facebook, and
we want to see more Vincent Ward. That's the point.
I'm like, we want him back. We want him back.
Well,
I have some friends too on your Facebook page that we developed a club. So.
Oh, okay, cool. Hey, Vincent M. Ward at Facebook, VincentMWard.com, Vincent M. Ward Twitter, Vincent M. Ward Instagram.
Vincent M. Ward all the way around.
And you have to put the M in because if you don't, can I tell the story right quick?
Yeah,
please.
Yes.
First moved here, just joined SAG. I get a call. I was like, hello? They said, may I speak to Vincent Ward? I said, speaking. He said, my name is Vincent Ward, and you got to change your name.
Are you serious?
And I'm like,
Oh,
what?
like Vanessa Williams.
I was like, I said, well, what are you talking about? He said, you either got to put your middle initial in or change your name. I'm the original Vincent Ward. Click.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. So I called SAG, and I'm like, who is this Vincent Ward man calling me, and how did he get my number?
For real.
And he's like, well, he's been in the industry for a long time. So Vincent Ward, Vincent M. Ward.
That's
Where you
right.
at now, player?
You won the arm wrestling.
With the best man. So thank you so very much for stopping by.
Thank
We
you,
wish you nothing but the best in your career.
Thank you.
What you're doing now, what you're gonna do, and just continue to stay, pressing forward and focused. And we wish you the best of blessings
Appreciate it.
with
Thank you.
everything.
Thank you, Vincent.
Yes.
And before we go, before we go, you're wearing my shirt.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to give it back to you after. I was going to Febreze it.
I'm trying to develop that romance. Really.
And with that, we'll be right back. But it is an awesome show.
Thanks, man.
We are here with a gentleman, Mr. Willie Norwood, famous man, famous family. We're so glad to be here, and we're glad that you're here, Mr. Norwood. I have a question for you, and that is, there have been musical families over time, and you know that some of them have endured and some of them haven't. What is the formula in your mind? Is it something special, or is it just the core, or how do you view their success then as opposed to now?
That's a good question. And before I start, I'd like to say, I'm happy to be on the show.
We're happy that you're on the show. We're so really
great chemistry together.
Yes, thank you.
And I want to just address that, the family part of it. I think that having abiding faith. I think that's the reason why a lot of times you have suicide, because especially among young people, because they get to a point where they don't feel no one cares.
Exactly.
But if you put that in them, then they'll have something to
listen to
rely on.
parents, listen to performers. This is important.
Stability and something to connect to, and something to continue to have a foundation, a positive foundation.
Exactly.
So with that being said, I know that Doug said that you are from a famous family, so
That's right.
a lot of people know that you're R&B singer Brandy and Ray J's dad, but a lot of people might not know that you sing too. So talk about your album, one of the two. Talk about It. I love this.
Well,
I
Don't be humble. We know you are.
You know, it's one thing about a gospel album is that it's when you're using everlasting words and you're using words from the scripture in some of your songs, so your album never gets old.
That's right.
Even though I did this years ago, it's appropriate
right
today.
on time.
It's still right on time because people are going through different things in their lives, and sometimes a ministry in song, as my ministry, can help them through that.
Yes.
But a lot of people, you know, the career, Brandy's career, and Ray J's career kind of overshadowed some of the things, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know,
well, because we're such a youth-oriented business.
It is. It is a youth-oriented business. Yeah, and so
veterans.
A lot of people did not know that I was an artist too, and that I did other things. But I'm an entrepreneur, and not only that, I am a person who is a teacher.
Yes.
A
mentor.
Oh yeah, and other things that I do.
But Voca yoga, folks. It's a phrase I've never heard until I met this man right here. Can you elaborate on your concept? If I don't miss my guess, it's a combination of Eastern philosophy or spiritual philosophy and where to come from as a singer.
Right.
I think it's a phenomenal concept. Can you elaborate a little bit?
Well, in short, Voca yoga is singing inside out. It's a holistic approach to singing. It's a lot of singers, they just can't get over that little hump. They are right there, but they can't get there. And a lot of times it's because it has to be introspective, something that has to go inside as opposed to going outside. And the technical part of it is one thing, but the spiritual side of it is even greater because Voca yoga is a holistic approach to balance your spirituality.
I don't know anybody doing that actually.
I don't either. I've never heard of
this in my world. Can you tell us a little bit about this cool statue over here that Brandy, that your daughter anointed you with?
It's sort of like something that you have with it, that you have like a perspective for everything that you do.
Yes.
Well, what it is with this, she got this as a gift for me, and so to her, she always wanted to support the things that I do, and I play golf. And so she said, "Dad, I got you something, and you're gonna love it." She said, "I got you."
That's a good daughter, right there.
Yeah, that's right. She said, "I got you a golf man." I said, "Oh, a golf man."
That's a golf man.
And so she see it as just an expression of just her gift to me for what I do. But when I look at this, I see follow through. I see completion because that's a golf swing. That's the completed golf swing.
Right.
And so it reminds me always to complete what I start.
Wow, that's really awesome.
I
don't know anything about golf.
I don't know what to say. That's heavy philosophy.
Yeah, that
right
is
there.
a great concept.
I want to thank you for teaching me something that I hadn't thought
pleasure.
of. And okay, quick question, and then we're gonna go ahead and break for commercial. This group that you had, the composers, cover material, some originals. You've been through the plethora, the gauntlet, as they say, of experiences, both positive and negative. Any regrets?
No, none whatsoever.
I think it's rare when a man can say that.
Especially when one of my bandmates he's for 33 years he has been doing a gospel music award. He has a Jackson Music Awards, and one year doing our 30th year anniversary reunion as part of, I went to Jackson State University, and and they have their Legends Weekend, and we got the Legend Award there, my group, and Brandy and Ray J came to see, we had our reunion, they came to see all the people I used to sing with, the whole band.
So they got
we got the band back together. They got the OG thing. And you should have seen them. And I told my wife, I say, you know, if God called me right now, it will be enough. I wanted them to see just what it was that I did.
That's phenomenal. Mr. Norwood, I'd like to thank you.
Yes.
God bless you.
Thank
on
you
behalf
so
of the Doug and Nita Show.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank you,
Nita.
Mr.
God bless you.
And
thank you.
Willie Norwood, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
The man. We'll be right back. We've got the Norwoods. We've got Mr. Willie Norwood and Ray J.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, you go ahead and ask the questions. I'm just going to stand here and bask in the ambience.
Okay, how's it going, Ray J?
Oh, everything's good. God is good.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that we put on these events and people can actually see the talent blossom. Yeah. And a lot of people work hard on their vocals. They go and work with my dad a lot, and they then they have this moment to where you can actually shine.
That's right.
And it inspires you to go further. So it's a special moment for a lot of artists tonight, and we just happy to be able to be a part of it.
Hi, welcome back to the Doug D and Nita B Show. We're back with Mr. Willie Norwood.
The man.
Yes, and we want to talk about, before we wrap up, we want to talk to you, Mr. Norwood, about Platinum Mic Night. Now, I've been attending this for the 2 years, going on 3 years. It's awesome. Right. It's going to be held in Los Angeles.
Awesome venue.
November the 23rd.
That's right.
November the 23rd. This Friday, actually, coming up, 7 p.m., Celebrity Center. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that. How did that get started?
Well, it got started as a result of my working with singers. I'm a vocal coach, and I develop artists. Instead of doing a recital, I let the people who work with me get on a full stage, do the whole gamut, do the red carpet, do everything,
so you
to
make
be treated
feel like they're already there.
Like they're already there. It's all visualization.
Ooh,
anyway.
So they didn't have that when I was learning how to sing. It's like the piano recitals. Oh my God, so you can relate.
Right, but with the advent of American Idol, they give you a chance to get on the stage, and other places, other things like X Factor and all those things. So we tried to do it in that way. My family, we are the judges, and we just have a great time.
And who better to judge?
That's right. That's right. The people that's been in this.
You aspiring vocalists and singers, you're going to get judged by the Norwood family. Brandy, Ray J.
Is on the pressure. But they're really good. And going back into that, you being a vocal coach, I always say that you give the money's worth, because you stretch the vocals. You are always telling the truth. You're not going to say, "Oh, that sounds good." You make them work for it, and I've seen the talent. It is exceptionally phenomenal. It's great talent, whether they win or not. It's a marketing positive brand from you, and what you have already as a instructor have done. So.
And he is a phenomenal vocal coach.
Yeah, and they get a chance to hang out with the family, take pictures in front of the red carpet, and it's just a great evening, and we make good friends, and we have a lot of industry people there. And this year we expect to get some very good surprises, people to come
and
on the red carpet.
And Nita B, we will be taping live from there.
Oh my goodness, that's going to be good.
I think, honestly, to close out, and thank you again for being our guest, Mr. Norwood.
You're welcome.
The whole concept of enjoying the process, I think, is what you're alluding to. There are people who do what they have to do because they want the end result. Okay, what you're advocating, if I'm not missing the boat, is a spiritual approach that says, enjoy the start, enjoy the process, and then enjoy the finish.
That's right.
And finish it correctly per the golf man.
Yeah.
The golf man.
Yeah.
Follow through.
We're not mad
Follow
at you.
Through.
Okay.
Follow
Willie
through.
Norwood, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Look at that.
Hey, we're back. Doug D and Nita B and Miss Tammie Starr. Yes, awesome.
There are so many curvy websites that you can go googly-eyed looking at them, and it's fun.
That's so true. I wanted to shout out real quick where you can reach me for the curvy women that want to be a plus-size model. Actress, anything in the entertainment or fashion industry. You can get me on Facebook. It is Mother of Models, Tammie Starr, TAMMIE, and I can hook you up. As you can see, this beautiful soul right here, my soul sister right here, Arnita B. She is going to be with Rocket Curves next year. Cheru, my sis, 2014. We're going to be on here on this wonderful, fabulous show together.
Yes.
And shout shout out to Arnita, my good friend. She's an editor, writer, producer, director of NBC for our fashion show we're getting ready for, and this is really important. It's called Culture of Curves.
Okay.
And
Culture of Curves.
Yes, Culture of Curves, and it's going to be testimonies of all curvy women, not just supermodels. These are testimonies of different kind of, just like domestic violence, fire victims. We have Gina Marie.
So the serious stuff.
Yes,
So
she's the
if they want
first.
to-
She's the first model in a wheelchair. We're having her in the fashion show. So I give a shout out to Gina, my sis, and she's also an actress, and she's also a ballerina in her wheelchair.
That is
and you should see her dance.
And thanks for
We're going to
giving-
have her on here on the show to talk about that.
Yes.
Thanks for giving people a chance.
Yes.
That we wouldn't have been able to do that. It's just something to do. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our show for today.
Yes, it's been amazing and awesome, and we want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in and supporting us. Thank you for letting us bring our entertainment into your living rooms to entertain you.
That's right, and thank all of our guests.
Yes. Vincent M. Ward, Willie Norwood.
Tammie Starr, my friend TJ Santorelli. And listen, please tune us in each and every day.
Yes.
God bless and have a wonderful day.
Yes.
Thanks very much, Nita.
Until next time, the Doug D and Nita B Show.
See ya.